What's going on, guys? So recently, I haven't really been sleeping very well, and I haven't really been feeling quite like myself. I ended up going to a follow up cardiologist appointment last week, and it turns out that I have like slightly elevated blood pressure. Now, this isn't something that's totally the end of the world, but it is something that I need to get in check. And it really got me thinking about physical health, physical activity, and all of that kind of stuff. So that's why I wanted to make this video today. I feel like in our industry, there's a really big push for mental health, which is great. But I feel like the physical health aspect is kind of neglected, and I think they definitely go hand in hand. So I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about what we can do, as an art community to hopefully all encourage each other to get in better shape and better physical health together. So in this video, I'm going to talk about why the dreaded exercise is so important to your art, your consistency, your creative output, and all of that kind of stuff. And also make sure to stick around to the end of the video as well, where I'm going to be talking about something I'm going to be doing with the Discord to hopefully help out with all of this stuff. So stay tuned. All right, so before I go into what we can do as a community to kind of work on this, I want to go a little bit deeper into my particular situation. So, heart conditions do run in my family, so there's definitely a genetic aspect to what's going on with me. But in general, when I really think back on it, and this is something that I really was thinking about these past couple days, I live a very sedentary lifestyle right now. And I still do go to the gym quite often, but in terms of my like cardiovascular, system, I haven't really been pushing that as much as I could or as much as I should. I mean, I was thinking back to the days where I was going to Penn State and I was probably walking like 5 miles a day. And I think just as a younger person going to school, you're naturally, walking to classes quite a lot. You're maybe doing sports and all of that kind of stuff. And once you become a working professional adult, you're mostly just sitting at your desk all the time, and it's like you have to be accountable for your own health at all times. You can't like accidentally be just walking around. So I've really been trying to figure out what I can do to push myself in that respect and get myself back on track as much as I can. I know that aging is a thing, but I think there's still things that we can all do to, commit to, sort of getting back to the way things were in terms of moving around as much as we used to when we were younger. In terms of my diet, I, have always eaten relatively well, so that's not really been the concern. And I even told my doctor that it's mostly just the getting up out of my seat and moving around thing. So that's what we're going to talk about. All right, so nobody is going to be advocating for your physical health except for you, especially like I said, when you're older and you kind of have to deal with it on your own at all times. So specifically for me, what doing more cardio stuff is going to help do, and this is going a little bit more into the sciencey territory, but basically doing cardio helps elevate your heart and helps strengthen your heart, which helps push the blood through your body better, thus reducing your blood pressure. If I didn't work on this at all, this condition would continuously get worse. If I just didn't really worry about it and I was just continuing to sit for years and years and years, and that could eventually lead to a heart attack. And I'm not trying to ever have a heart attack, right? So that's why I'm being so diligent about this right now and really trying to make a quick change. So I want to talk now a little bit about how the physical activity is intertwined with the mental health sort of stuff. And, some of you may already know this, but first of all, when you're doing physical activity, your body is releasing endorphins, which are hormones that run through your body and are making you less stressed, essentially. So doing exercise is already a way to eliminate stress. And this is something that I can attest to personally. Like if I haven't been sleeping well, if I just kind of feel bogged down, my wife will always say, Nick, you haven't really been working out as much as you should. So if I kind of force myself to just do it, I already feel 10 times better. So it is something that it will definitely help you. It's something that's been researched, quite often. You can literally look this up. but also me personally, I can attest to this, just automatically making my mood better if I've been neglecting exercise for quite a while. In terms of the sleep thing as well, doing exercise during the day can lead to better sleep at night. And having a lack of sleep can also lead to stress and, feeling depressed throughout the day. So, all of these things, like I keep saying, go hand in hand, really kind of work with each other. And you can't really totally focus on one thing while completely neglecting the other thing. You have to do a little bit of all of these things, all of these lifestyle changes to help you just have a healthier body, a healthier mind, and to just be kind of generally happier and more creative throughout the day. It's kind of like, how can you be creative? How can you think of these really cool painting ideas or story ideas when you're just exhausted or you're fatigued because you don't have that endurance from exercising? And I really think that exercise is a way to help you become more diligent, because it's kind of like, if you can't commit to the exercise, 30 minutes to an hour or whatever is recommended a day, then how can you also be committing to your artwork, which should be more fun? I see a lot of artists struggle with that consistency, and I almost feel like forcing yourself to do the exercise aspect, which is, in my opinion, definitely a harder thing to get yourself up to go and do. If you can commit to that, you can really commit to anything. And the exercise is also going to help you with the sleep, with the, feeling less depressed, with the, just feeling overall better about yourself. And, in my case as well, like literally lowering, hopefully lowering my blood pressure and allowing me to not feel so fatigued all the time. All right, so there's a possibility you might be a person that has never really gotten into exercise before. So you're probably like, well, where the heck do I start? And I want to preface this by, I'm not a licensed physical trainer or anything like that by any means, but I have trained quite a lot of my friends in the gym and kind of taught them how to lift and how to just generally exercise. So that is experience I've had in my life. But this is basically the same thing as in my 5 habits video, which you can, watch over here. Basically, you have to commit to a certain time of day and a certain amount of time every day. And it's got to be something that's accessible to you, right? The first thing is just figuring out that plan of action. Even if it's 15 minutes a day where you're like, I'm going to go walk around, that's a place to start, It's just about getting up and moving around. That's the easiest way to begin, is to just do something, as opposed to keep on, being so conflicted about it or considering it so much. You have to just start somewhere. All right, so you have to start with something sustainable and something that you can be consistent with. The entire point of this is to ensure that this is an activity you're going to be continuing to do, hopefully for the rest of your life. It's not like a diet where you're supposed to just do it and then drop it. You want to integrate this into your daily routine so that you can continuously be healthy. And that's exactly what ended up happening to me. I was continuously active until a certain point, and then I just neglected it more and more and more, and now I'm where I am. So if we want to reverse that, if we want to try to get in better shape, get healthier, have a healthier mind, then we have to just commit to doing something and start with committing to something that's sustainable, right? So like I said, the easiest thing would be to just start walking, right? All of our phones now, if you have a smartphone, it has a pedometer. It can track your steps. So start at the kind of the smallest increment you can. I would probably recommend like starting with 1,000 steps, doing 1,000 steps a day for a week, bumping that up to 2,000, bumping that up to 3,000. The recommended daily steps is 5,000, right? That's quite a lot of walking. That's like almost 5 miles a day, I think, maybe a little bit more. Even to me, that sounds like a lot. And I'll talk to you guys soon about what my plan has been. But, again, you have to kind of start with something that you feel like you can actually do every day. So starting out with 1,000, I think, is pretty practical, and bumping it up by 1,000 every week until you get to a point where you feel comfortable doing it is a good place to begin. And what's really cool about exercise as well is it doesn't take as long to get good at as I feel like it does with art. You can snap into shape pretty quickly if you're just really consistent with it. So yeah, I recommend starting there. So if you're in moderately okay shape, and you've never really done this before, what I would personally recommend is to integrate cardiovascular activity with some sort of weight training or lifting exercises as well. The reason I'm such a huge advocate for lifting is not only just because it's something that I like to do and I think can encourage you to be more diligent, but it also helps strengthen your bones. It strengthens your, posture, your back, and it's just generally good for reducing inflammation. And there's, tons and tons of other reasons why lifting is very beneficial. I think there's a kind of a misconception about lifting, like, oh, you just do it to get jacked, but there's a lot of other like health benefits to lifting weights as well. And combining that with the cardio stuff is great. But if you're somebody who's never lifted before, I know it can be really a daunting task to just like be like, oh, I'm going to go sign up for a gym and figure it out. So I'd recommend, if you want to try to get into that, just like start doing the, simple stuff, more like military exercises, like sit-ups, pull-ups if you have a pull-up bar or whatever, push-ups, that kind of thing. That's at least going to get you going and start to strengthen your muscles, and also, help with some of those other things that I was talking about previously. If you really want to get into lifting, I either recommend getting a buddy that already knows what he's doing to help you out, or to look up YouTube videos, the general thing. But it is something that you kind of at least want to have a somewhat of an idea before you just kind of jump into it. Like, for example, my dad taught me how to lift, so I then, use those lessons and kind of learn from YouTube and learn from other people to get better at it, sort of thing. And if you absolutely hate the idea of lifting weights, then what I would really recommend to do is do another activity alongside the cardio stuff that is something that you feel like you like to do. So like, it could be a sport, basketball, whatever. You could take up dancing. I know there's like tons and tons of clubs where you can do dancing. If you have a local pool or something like that, swimming is also great. But just having an activity that's kind of getting your body moving in such a way that's not just like running in a straight line, and combining that with the running thing, I think is just such a great way to be more well balanced in your physical health. And it's also something that's just a good, in the case of like basketball or something, a good community activity. It's another good way for you to get out, almost find like a hobby that's not just the art thing, and kind of make you a little bit more of a well-rounded person. Okay, so this is going to be my commitment for the next week. I've already been starting to do this, but as of the day that I post this video, I'm going to commit to 5,000 steps a day for a week. I feel like for me, that's something that's manageable. It takes maybe a half an hour, maybe a little bit less for me to do that. It depends if I add some running into that, but 5,000 steps is a little bit over 2 miles. And for me, that's like two walks around my entire neighborhood. So it's something that I know is sustainable for me, and something that if I continue to do it, I know I'll get better at it. Maybe I'll get up to that 10,000 daily steps thing and not feel like I'm going to die after doing it. So I would encourage you guys, if you want to hop on with me and kind of try to do this as well. I'll talk to you guys in a sec about what we're going to do in the Discord to make this more of a collaborative effort. That's what I'm going to kind of commit to. I'm also going to be integrating my lifting in there as well. So I'll let you guys know kind of maybe by day, like what I've been up to. All right. And again, I really want to emphasize this, that this is about figuring out how to continue to do this, how to continue to lead this healthy lifestyle. It is not a diet. This is training. You're training your body. You're training your mind to be more diligent. This training is not unlike, figure drawing. You're doing figure drawing so that you can get better at anatomy, right? You want to be training your muscles and your body to get better at the thing that you're trying to do, which is to just overall stay in shape, overall, be able to sleep better, be able to have more energy during the day, and be able to just do more fun stuff, do more art, you know? All right, so in the Discord, I'm going to be making a channel called Health Goals. And these health goals can be mental health goals or physical health goals, but I'm going to start with my physical health goal journey and be sharing that with you all. What I'm hoping that this helps with is makes more of a community effort to promote, healthy living, healthy lifestyles, healthy mindset, and all of that kind of stuff. I know from my personal experience that the times in which I've done the best at the gym is when I have kind of like a lifting buddy to kind of help, cheer for me and root me on, and for me to almost like have a friendly competition with. And I want the Discord to hopefully be a space that, is a collective effort of like-minded people that can all be encouraging each other. And I feel like there's this, I don't want to say stigma, but there's just, it's hard for people to talk about this stuff, right? It's been hard for me to kind of talk about my heart condition stuff. I always like to think I'm like on top of the world with my health, and it's gotten to the point where I'm just like, man, I gotta actually do something about this. So hopefully for those of you that are feeling similarly can, talk about this in this Health Goals channel, and our other members can help encourage you, and maybe we can share strategies for how, we're going about similar issues or whatever. But I just think it could be cool and something different in our community to really talk about and to really promote this healthy lifestyle, because it's really important, again, to being creative, to having great output, to just feeling better overall. I can't tell you enough how crucial this is about just, feeling good. This is something I'm really, really passionate about, something I really wanted to share with you all. And I hope you guys end up liking this channel that I make. All right, guys, so I hope this encourages you to also start integrating more physical activity into your routine, into your life. And I know that this is going to end up helping you with not only your mental state, but also with your art. So if you like this video, make sure to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, all of that kind of good stuff. I look forward to seeing you in the new channel we make in the Discord. And until next time, keep on crushing it, guys.